And I remember looking at it and going, oh shit, what happened? What happened? Because the last time you were in here, you were talking about how you didn't want to work out.
Yeah.
Because it would survive.
Jake Paul faced some serious roasting from Joe Rogan after he struggled in a sparring session with Mike Tyson, getting knocked out in the process. This was especially embarrassing for Jake, who had been vocally challenging Tyson to a fight in front of millions. He couldn't even last a minute in the ring, despite Rogan's warnings before the session. Now, Rogan is having a blast mocking Jake's pea-sized brain for not heeding the advice. It's probably for the best that Jake decided to cancel the actual match, as he would have faced a tidal wave of criticism and trash talk from around the globe. While he might have thought cancelling would keep him in the spotlight, it ended up backfiring, leading to even harsher consequences. Jake is likely wishing he could jump into a time machine and reverse his decision. Adding to the drama, Mike Tyson recently experienced a serious health scare. While flying from Miami to Los Angeles, he felt nauseous and dizzy, which turned out to be an ulcer flare-up. This incident occurred just 2 months before his scheduled fight with Jake, forcing him to rethink his training regimen amid the panic. As soon as Mike Tyson landed, he was checked out by doctors who advised him to seriously dial back his training. The ulcer, a nasty sore on the stomach lining, required him to reduce physical exertion, leading to the postponement of his fight with Jake Paul. Originally scheduled for July 20th, the match was put on hold, leaving fans disappointed and eagerly awaiting a new date. Reactions to the news were mixed. Many fans sent their love and support to Tyson, understanding that health must come first. However, some critics questioned why Tyson, who is nearing 58, would even consider stepping back into the ring against a younger fighter like Jake Paul. Despite the backlash, Tyson remained resilient.
Same fate. I'm gonna knock out Jake Paul.
Assuring everyone that he would bounce back fully and return to training soon. His determination to stay in the game, despite health issues, highlights his toughness. Tyson expressed gratitude for the support he received and emphasized that this setback was just a temporary hiccup. He was confident about returning to his full training routine shortly, ready for the fight once a new date is set. Meanwhile, Jake Paul has expressed support for the postponement, recognizing the importance of Tyson's health. Jake Paul expressed a desire to face Mike Tyson at his best, emphasizing that he wanted no excuses. His comments showed respect for Tyson's legacy and his own determination to prove himself against a fully fit opponent. However, the master of media attention and public engagement found himself in a challenging situation with the unexpected delay of their highly anticipated bout, initially scheduled for July 20th, 2024.
Obviously, devastating news. I'm heartbroken, speechless, gutted. We've been working so hard over here, everyone in this camp, and I just feel bad for everyone involved in this event, the whole undercard. Opportunity has been ripped from all of us, but I do value Mike's health first and foremost. Love that guy, I have so much respect for him, and I want Mike to be healthy. And he says he still is going to knock me out, and I bought myself some time. So Mike is still talking shit over there. But Mike, if you want to do this, like you said, behind closed doors, behind the scenes, you said you want to do this in Q4. You just need a little bit of time. So I'm ready whenever you are. This is too big of an opportunity. I think this fight's going to change the world, and I turn all my L's into W's. That's a motto I live by. The universe makes no mistakes, so let's see what's in store. But sorry this didn't work out. To everyone, the fans, love you.
This fight wasn't just another event for Jake, it represented the culmination of months of intense training and relentless promotion. When the news of the postponement broke, Jake felt both disappointed and understanding. Publicly, he played the good sport, acknowledging the situation, but it was clear that the delay was a significant setback for him. This is a guy who thrives on constant media coverage, and suddenly his hype train hit a snag. Refusing to be sidelined, Jake got creative to keep his name in the headlines. He suggested a sparring session with Tyson, proving he was flexible and still eager for action. Jake even said, "Mike, if you want to do this behind closed doors like you said, I'm ready if you are." This move was pure genius, showcasing Jake's knack for staying relevant in the ever-changing landscape of combat sports. By pushing for a sparring session, Jake Paul strategically kept the buzz alive, ensuring that fans and media remained hooked on his rivalry with Mike Tyson. His relentless drive to stay in the spotlight demonstrated his understanding of how fickle public attention can be, along with the constant pressure to remain relevant. On June 26, 2024, a private sparring session between Tyson and Paul turned into an unexpected spectacle. This wasn't just any prep exercise, it was a clash of generations held in a secret location, with only a handful of trusted trainers and insiders watching. The atmosphere was electric, with everyone eager to see how these two would measure up against each other. As soon as the session kicked off, it was clear Tyson hadn't lost a step. Despite nearing 60, his power and speed were still remarkable. Within seconds, Tyson unleashed a barrage of rapid-fire punches, leaving Jake looking like a deer in headlights. Sources reported that Paul was completely blindsided by the intensity of Tyson's onslaught. The punches were precise, powerful, and devastating, leading to a knockout so swift that it left everyone in the room stunned. The knockout happened in under 30 seconds. Legendary trainer Freddie Roach, who witnessed the event, described,
I have to remember that. My mother, I have to decimate her as well. This is business. It's just business. Nothing personal.
So when you brought your feelings into the ring, did that interfere with your ability to win?
Absolutely, yeah. Because once your feelings are in the ring, you think about, wow, I don't want to get hit, I'm this and that, and you're apprehensive.
the scene with a mix of awe and amusement, stating that Tyson's performance was a total embarrassment for Paul, who hit the canvas before he even knew what hit him. After landing the knockout punch, Tyson simply asked to leave the gym, as if he had just finished a casual workout, no big deal for Iron Mike. Then there's Joe Rogan, the guy who saw this train wreck coming from miles away. Not just a podcaster and UFC commentator, Rogan is like the Gandalf of combat sports. With black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo, his insights are regarded as gospel in the fighting community. So when he
Even if Tyson's 57, just the fact that he's willing to actually take a chance at Mike Tyson not being able to do what he used to do, because that's what he's doing. The gamble is
started waving red flags about Jake Paul stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson, you'd think Jake would pay attention. Spoiler alert, he didn't. Joe has been vocal about his concerns, and he wasn't exactly whispering sweet nothings. With a knack for breaking down fighters and fights with surgical precision, Rogan saw trouble brewing for Jake. He flat out stated that while Jake has made a name for himself in boxing, his victories have mostly come against opponents who aren't exactly in Tyson's league. Let's face it, the disparity was glaring. Beating up YouTubers and retired MMA fighters isn't quite the same as going toe-to-toe with a former world heavyweight champion. Joe Rogan's critique served as a masterclass in why Jake Paul was way out of his depth. He also focused on Tyson's mental state, emphasizing that the fighter was in savage mode, channeling the intensity and aggression of his prime. Tyson's own words were chilling. I just eat raw meat because that's what I'm going to eat when I fight. I'm going to eat him. That's not just trash talk, it's a glimpse into the mindset of someone ready to tear through anything in his path. Moreover, we can't overlook Tyson's training. With a record of 50 wins, 44 by knockout, he possesses a treasure trove of knowledge and tactical acumen. He knows how to adapt, exploit weaknesses, and deliver punishment that leaves opponents questioning their life choices. In contrast, Jake, with his relatively shallow experience, is stepping into waters infested with a seasoned predator. Rogan, who always has the lowdown on the fight scene, once gave a vivid play-by-play of the epic showdown between Mike Tyson and Marvis Frazier. Joe Frazier's son had been talking a lot of smack, claiming he could have done much better, but the reality was starkly different. When Joe Frazier sent his son Marvis into the ring with Mike Tyson, it was a fateful decision. Rogan recalls the fight as nothing short of an execution. This infamous bout took place on July 26, 1986, with Frazier building up Marvis like a bulldozer ready to flatten Tyson, whom he dismissed as a mere wheelbarrow, but Tyson, being Tyson, flipped that narrative on its head in about 30 seconds. Rogan described the scene with brutal clarity. Tyson stepped up and began blasting Marvis, cornering him and delivering a series of punches so fast and hard that Marvis was out cold before he even hit the floor. It was like watching an assassination.
I submit that Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that won the title against Trevor Berbick, the Mike Tyson that beat Larry Holmes, I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time.
This was not an isolated incident. Tyson's career is filled with savage displays. A prime example is his fight against Trevor Berbick on November 22, 1986, where Tyson outlanded Berbick 71-16. His final punch, a short hook to the temple, sent Berbick down 3 times. Another notable moment was on June 27, 1988, against Michael Spinks, which ended in just 91 seconds with one of the most memorable knockouts in boxing history. Joe Rogan often highlights that Tyson's ferocity wasn't just physical, it was mental too. Even as Tyson aged, he spoke of his training in ways that would make most fighters quake. That's Tyson's mindset: relentless, raw, and utterly terrifying. His list of demolished opponents is extensive. Larry Holmes faced Tyson on January 22, 1988, trying to withstand the onslaught but ultimately getting knocked out in the 4th round. Frank Bruno, in their first fight on February 25, 1989, managed to stun Tyson briefly but couldn't handle his power, leading to another decisive...
I never saw anybody who looked like Mike Tyson in his prime. I think you can't maintain the kind of focus that was required to be this guy.
Victory for the boxing legend. These historical beatdowns are why Joe Rogan's warnings to Jake Paul are so intense. Tyson isn't just a fighter, he's a force of nature with a legacy of pain and power. Rogan knows that even now Tyson's training is no joke. His mentality and power, despite his age, make him a serious threat that should be taken seriously. As Rogan said, at best. Rogan, always the straight shooter, wrapped up the whole debate on Tyson with a killer line that resonated with fans. When he talks about combat sports, people listen. His respect for Tyson also shapes his views on modern fighters like Jake Paul. Rogan has been vocal about the glaring mismatch between Paul's inexperience and Tyson's legendary status. He emphasizes that Tyson's prime focus and ferocity would flatten anyone, especially someone like Paul, who has yet to face a fighter of Tyson's caliber. Rogan's insights aren't just nostalgic ramblings, they serve as a stark reminder of what true greatness looks like. Tyson's legacy sets a high bar that many aspire to, but few, if any, reach. His fights were not just bouts, they were masterclasses in controlled aggression and unmatched skill. This is why Rogan's words carry so much weight. He has seen the best and knows what it takes to be the best. In a world where fighters come and go, Tyson's name still resonates, thanks in no small part to commentators like Rogan, who keep the flame alive. If you're nodding along with Joe and enjoying his insights, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're all in this together.